this is Liz from People I Think Are Cool, a bi-weekly podcast where I interview my favorite creatives from across the globe. If you're looking for a dose of creative inspiration, then go to peopleithinkarecool.com or subscribe to People I Think Are Cool on iTunes and Stitcher.
You like film, from cult to classic, from blockbuster to B-movies. And there just isn't that one place with all the fan fervor and passion that's covering the kind of mad, diverse brilliance that you love.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
AfterMovieDiner.com is that fan-built movie nirvana just for you, featuring the sweet, sweet writings of the wife dork herself. AfterMovieDiner.com. Go there. Be the best you can be.
You guys look like... What do they look like, Jimmy?
Dorks. They look like a couple of dorks.
Get those birds! Nerds!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What? Are you kidding? We got us some family here.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
You are listening to the In the Mouth of Dorkness podcast. Here are Brad, Lisa, Brian, and Darren.
Welcome to another edition of the ITMOD podcast. Joining us is Brian Young, the Turtle Dork.
So, my favorite Comic-Con moment was when I was interviewed by Nick Mundy for Screen Junkies by getting into the line for Hall H. This was back in 2015.
And how much of that conversation made it into the actual Screen Junkies show?
About half of it, but it actually a pretty good dose of it. And one of my coworkers actually knew because he watches Screen Junkies, and he was like, "Hey, weren't you on Screen Junkies?" I was like, "Yeah,
celebrity."
So that was fun.
And also joining us is Lisa Gullickson, wife dork.
My favorite Comic-Con memory would be meeting Joss Whedon, but he is hashtag problematic. I still cherish that memory, though. So I will pretend that my favorite Comic-Con memory was having a totes cash conversation with Wyatt Cenac while in my Don Greenwood cosplay and having him call me Don Greenwood. It was the best, and he is totally charming and wonderful. And he seemed pleasantly surprised that Don Greenwood recognized him.
You can still cherish that Joss Whedon
I
memory.
do. I totally do. Joss Whedon's work has influenced my sense of humor, the kinds of nerddums I've seeked out. It's totally shaped my pop culture identity. And, you know, he likes a little strange every once in a while.
I loved how Lisa played it totally cool as they were walking by Petco Park together, having this conversation. And then the conversation ended. He crossed the street. Lisa turned to me and burst into tears.
It's like total fandom, you know, total worship. Like, I love Buffy. I love Avengers. I don't love Dollhouse. That's not his fault. I love Angel. Yeah. Like everything. Like, I love his run on Runaways. Like everything he writes is just, I love his fun, creative voice. And I love his strong female characters that are completely fallible and identifiable with. But Wyatt Cenac's stand-up is very funny.
That was also a pretty great moment.
The kitten jumping in and out of the box. It's funny.
Brad Gullickson, mouth dork.
My favorite Comic-Con memory was sneaking Lisa into the Star Trek Beyond IMAX premiere. Thanks to TrekNews.net, I had a pass, and it was just so crowded. I was like, Lisa, just stick by my side. I'll hand my pass over, and you just walk in with me.
I'm like such a rule follower, so I was kept on going like, no, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. I can't walk in like that.
Yeah.
But I did.
But man, and there, the thing was, there was ultimately a ton of seating for that screening. Mm-hmm. And that was just totally epic. The cast coming out and introducing the film.
Conan
O'Brien hosting it. Giacchino was there with the San Diego Symphony playing his score for the film.
The laser show.
And the fact that, for me, Star Trek Beyond was just such a redemption after Star Trek Into Darkness and was so in the spirit of the original series. And seeing it under the stars was just phenomenal. And being able to see it with Lisa, who I had originally feared was going to have to like go sulk off into the hotel because it was on preview night.
I had a preview night badge, so I could have gone in.
Yeah, that's like the crazy thing. We've had preview night badges, but every time we've had preview night badges, there's been something else to pull
really
us
cool.
away.
Something else really cool to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my favorite Comic-Con memory. Live long and prosper, Lisa.
Yeah.
And with your spirit.
And I'm your host, Darren Smith, the Disco Dork. My favorite Comic-Con memory actually comes from Comic-Con in 2015. Mad Max Fury Road had just come out. And lo and behold, to my surprises, like the geek community will never let you down. There were people already cosplaying as characters from that movie. And as we're waiting to go in on the first day to the dealer's floor, there's someone behind me who's cosplaying as a Morton Joe. And so I got witnessed that morning. And so that, with me being as huge a fan of Mad Max Fury Road as I am, for that to happen to me on that day when I'm wearing my Mad Max Fury Road Immortan Joe Valhalla spray T-shirt, not even expecting that, and for that to happen was just everything to me. Because I mean, it encapsulates, and I've said this before, it encapsulates what I love so much about San Diego Comic-Con. It's the fandom, it's the nerddom done right. It's not this hate-filled, malignant, tumorous thing on social media. It's the real people with the real passion showing you that they really care and they really show up to show and champion stuff that we hold near and dear to us.
And connect.
You're saying. Yeah. And so that was just, that person, when she was putting on her Morton Joe cosplay that morning, she couldn't have known that she was going to, just her putting that on, being there, looking like that, putting that effort in that cosplay, she couldn't have known that she was going to touch my life in that way or touch someone's life and bring joy. Like nothing else could have happened my entire time at Comic-Con that year. But that would have been everything to me, and it still is. And so, like, the fact that she did that and she was able to,
somewhere under the Instagram account of Mouth Dork is video of Darren getting witnessed in that moment.
Yeah, it's on my Instagram. It's on my Facebook page somewhere. It's like the best.
Some excavation has to happen. You got to repost that
Well,
shit.
I think you can just click on the hashtag ITMODCon.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll bring up every San Diego Comic-Con photo that any of us have done. We try to brand ourselves in San Diego.
Yep. And so guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the ITMODcast podcast.
Yeah.
PreviewCAST.
Oh my God. It's here. It's here.
So
you're singing Comic-Con carols.
If we're doing a Comic-Con PreviewCAST, that must mean it is in fact time for us to return to San Diego.
Yes. So it's Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days we'll be in San Diego.
Days.
That's unbelievable.
5 days.
Oh, yes.
It cannot. It should be now.
It should be right now.
It should be right now.
But because it isn't right now, what we're going to do to bide our time is we're going to take a look, and we do this every year. We firstly start by taking a look back at Comic-Con past, but then we look forward to the upcoming convention, and we do our hopes and desires and what we want, and by way of attending panels, outside activities, getting exclusives, and things like that. So that's what we're going to do and keep the tradition alive.
Were you all surprised by our favorite memories?
No.
No. That was like, I knew.
Man,
Brian's, I thought maybe his would have been the Black Panther cast and Hall H.
I was thinking that. It was between that,
Power Rangers
Rangers and Screen Junkies interview were probably my three
And
highlights.
then I was thinking, Darren, getting us front row in Hall H
that
year.
Was so
That's one
awesome.
of my favorite memories.
It would have been that, but I mean, it's something Mad Max Fury Road related happened
and
to
no
me.
love for the mysterious and mystical Comic-Con pirate.
That guy. It came down to two. It came down to the Fury Road thing, me getting witness, and also meeting Grant Morrison and my conversation with him.
Awesome.
Like that, him telling me what he told me was about that character that's so close to me. That was the best thing to me.
Like, if I had a worst Comic-Con memory, it would be being denied that Grant Morrison signing. But thankfully, the next year made it happen.
Yes. So I'll always cherish that. Brian, your worst, would it be like the Dread screening that you got denied into?
I take it back.
That was awful.
That's my worst Comic-Con memory.
Your best memory is not being recognized by those people, those kids.
Those Korean kids are like,
That's
what
one of
guy?
my faves.
That's not necessarily good or bad. It's just weird. The good, the bad, and the weird.
Yeah. Do you like rap, Brian?
Why, yes, I do. What are you trying to say?
Oh, man.
I don't know. There was something special about looking at this tiny, blinged out Korean guy going, I'm a big fan of black people.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And which was so weird because I'm like the most unassuming black person in the world. Like, why me? It's just like,
you were there. Man. You were there when he needed you.
I guess, yeah.
That's nuts.
All right. I want that picture to surface.
I have a photo of Brian getting his photos with those Korean teenagers.
Yeah, I have it too. Yeah. I have that.
I need to see that. You need to
I'll put it out on the social medias.
All right. So I'm going to start with you, Brian.
Yeah.
You know, before we get into Comic-Con 2018, you know, what are some things that you still look back on, even going into this next Comic-Con, that you hope to, you know, recreate, recapture, or that you just know nothing as cool as that is going to happen?
It's just that feeling, man. It's just that feeling of like not being on the East Coast, being far away from home. It's that getting on the plane and right before you land, looking out the window and looking at the skyline of San Diego and seeing it draped with all the geekness that's there, and just knowing that you're there, being on the plane with other fellow geeks. You know, just having that feeling, being around the palm trees, the good weather, like us going and doing our food runs, and then, you know, getting in and out. You know, the first day we meet up.
The Target run, right?
Yeah, the Target run. Like, all that stuff, it's just having that familiar feeling, our normal routine, and then just getting into the panels and seeing the cosplayers. It's just the idea of just being back in that element. That's one of the main things that I enjoy. And, of course, just the memories that we've just talked about, you know, just those memories that we have, and the idea and the possibility of what this year, the new year, could bring new memories. What are those going to be? Like, we never know every year, and then something magical happens, and then, you know, we do our review cast, and we're reflecting back on that. So it's just a great time of the year.
Yeah. What about you, wife Dork?
I love that Comic-Con is a time to kind of celebrate fandom and the kind of gratitude fandom brings. You have this opportunity to be with other fans and get to express your nerddom, perhaps to the people you're nerdy about. You know, getting to talk to Joss Whedon or getting to meet G. Willow Wilson. At the height of my Ms. Marvel love, and getting to tell her about, you know, when I was a teacher going to school in Ms. Marvel cosplay on dress as your favorite literary character day, and none of the kids knowing who she was except for Julie. Julie's the fucking coolest. You know, just interactions with that. Yeah. You know, and I, like you mentioned, the routine. Yeah. Like, I like the fact that there is this separate place where we have these kind of separate lives. I think it's kind of beautiful. Yeah, Brad was talking about how, like, when he lands in San Diego and we get our rental car, he knows where all of the places are.
Yeah.
You know, he can just drive to Marvelous Muffins or head over to
Luce Libre Taco Shop.
Luce Libre Taco Shop. We got to go back there this year, guys. So yeah.
It's great.
What about you, B?
You know, just to reiterate what you guys are saying, there's so much conversation right now online about toxic fandom and, you know, what the Last Jedi haters are spewing into the internet. But when, you know, as you were saying, Darren, when we go to Comic-Con and we get under the tents of the Hall H line, you're with your people. And that connectivity, that humanity is really infectious. And that love. I mean, that's what Comic-Con means to me. It's the love. And I really cherish that. And as far as, like, you know, every year is different. And, 2017's Comic-Con, I don't know if that necessarily matched the highs of 2016 Comic-Con, because in my memory, that's my favorite year. This will be our 7th one, but of the 6 previous Comic-Cons...
8th.
Is that true? 8th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because 2011. Right, yeah, 2011. So the 7th, didn't match the 6th, but the 6th didn't match the... 15. So... Every one ends up having its own personality, and I love going back through Instagram and Twitter and seeing all of our photographs and seeing, oh my God, that's right. That was the time I stalked Rick Baker down the street. Oh, that was the time I shook John Landis's hand.
Yeah.
But this could be the time where you're stalking Rick Baker and then you say, hi, thank you for...
Well, more on that when we talk about our panels, but there might be an opportunity there.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Darren?
I think about, especially at this point, because, and I've said this already, my intentions for Comic-Con this year and tailoring a different type of experience. I can look back on my several trips to San Diego, and I had already been doing that. So last year was more about watching Zachary and his experience cosplaying as Black Panther.
That was so fun. I'm going to miss Zachary this year.
Yeah. And, the year before that was our first experience cosplaying, like trying it out. And so, I have that particular Comic-Con experience for me and everything that entailed in order for me to cosplay and do all the other stuff in Hall H and our normal routine. So that created a different type of Comic-Con experience. And then the year prior to that, when I was still kind of new and still trying to get used to what Comic-Con was, and the second year and the first year being utterly unique because it's our first time there. So every time I've gone back, I have this subconscious thing where I'm trying to tailor these different experiences, make it different from the last. And then with the things that unexpectedly happen, that Brian, that you talked about, with those things unexpectedly happening, they kind of tailor the experience as well. Right. So you can plan, you can say, I'm going to plan to do X, Y, and Z. But Comic-Con is going to give you an A, B, C, D to add on top of that experience and totally change what you thought you planned out.
Yeah. If you go back and listen to our previous preview casts and then follow them up immediately with our review casts, none of this lines up.
Yeah. and we know that, and that's part of the appeal, though. That like Brian's saying, like what the thing that Joss Whedon experienced, like you can't plan for that. You don't know that that's going to happen. So what type of experience this year, what type of circumstance, what's going to happen this year that's going to be our crazy, Comic-Con pirate story?
Yeah, where's our Oscar Isaac drive-by?
Right, you know what I'm saying? So I look back and before and this happens every year prior to going to the next Comic-Con. I get to this point and I look back and I just reflect on how different our experiences have been, and so I'm just excited that this one, is going to be a new one because it's going to be about my daughter going for the first time and watching her. So it's basically like my 2011 first Comic-Con. I'm going to get to see that, like be removed from that and see my daughter experience it through, her eyes. And I just think that, I just want to end by saying with where we are, like the state of affairs now, social, politically, and where we are as a society, I feel like when we go to San Diego, and how divided the country is right now, and because of, pre-existing, poisonous conditions in our country, and then them being exacerbated by the president, I just feel like when we go to San Diego, like how those several thousand people are, like you said, Brad, our people, and how we treat each other, how we get along, regardless of what color the other person is, what sex.
7 years of going, we've never had a problem.
And I feel like the Comic-Con crowd is like a microcosm of the potential of our society. Like if we just accepted each other's differences and aren't genuinely happy,
celebrated our commonalities.
Yeah, and I just feel like if the rest of the population could move towards what we do when we're in San Diego and accepting other people and celebrating differences and separating our common interests and humanity, I just feel like the world will be a freaking better place.
Put down your guns. Watch more Netflix.
Yep.
Go to the movies.
Go to the movies, and then come to San Diego with us. Yeah. So now we move to Comic-Con 2018. So if you're new to the podcast, or if you're new to our Comic-Con discussions, so what typically happens is there are different components to Comic-Con, the Comic-Con experience. So you have the actual trip itself. You're going from wherever you are to San Diego. And then, you have, it's a comic book convention, but also, over the years,
pop culture
conventions, yeah. TV studios, movie studios have gotten involved, toy companies. And so you have this huge, it's like an exhibition. You have smaller panels that are taking place throughout the convention. So, off-site activities that companies, movie studios, TV shows will come and build attractions outside of the convention center in San Diego. So even if you can't get in, and we say this all the time, even if you don't have a badge to get in the convention center, because you need that to truly experience San Diego Comic-Con, you need to get a badge. But if you don't get a badge, there's so much to do outside of the convention center that you can still have an eventful 4 days in San Diego. So these are the different components. So we have the panels, and these are the things that we'll be talking about during this episode. So we have the panels. So we'll be talking about what we're looking forward to seeing, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. We have the Hall H experience, which is an experience of itself. So again, if you're new to this, you'll hear Hall H regularly in regards to especially Saturday, and what we typically traditionally have been interested in. And then we also have our the shopping and the exclusive. So there's vendors on the floor, and because of Comic-Con, you have different manufacturers, different toy companies who have Comic-Con exclusives.
So many this year.
Yeah, and so we typically like to burn money on these. And so part of this... Or credit. And a part of this discussion will be about the exclusives that we're looking forward to as well. And so let's do that. Brian, as far as panels for this year,
and should we do like day by day, like start with Thursday and then
you want to do that? Okay. So and for those who are not in the know, Comic-Con is technically from Wednesday to Sunday. Wednesday is a preview night of sorts.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Boo.
But if we did have that, you would get a badge, and it would allow you early access to the convention center to see all of the different exhibits on the floor.
And then put that on your Instagram to spoil it for everybody else because you're a bastard.
Yeah. And that's Wednesday, and that typically starts around like 6 or 7 p.m. in the evening. But the first full day is actually Thursday. And so this is the first full day of outdoor activities, panels on the inside at the adjacent hotels. And that's another thing, ladies and gentlemen, for our new listeners. So San Diego Comic-Con, the heart of it is in the convention center in San Diego, but there are adjacent hotels and other buildings that also house some of the panels and the events as well. So
Indigo Ballroom,
downtown San Diego, the Gaslamp District totally transforms. The city of San Diego totally transforms. This is what Brian was mentioning earlier when he talks about looking out onto the skyline and seeing all the Comic-Con stuff adorned on the street lamps and stuff like that. Like the whole city transforms, and that adds to the feeling of the experience as well. So Brian,
Nerd Mecca.
Yes. On Thursday, what are you looking forward to in regards to panels? Are there anything? What's your plans for Thursday?
Still looking here. I'm still looking.
Oh, okay.
I just found some stuff. No, I got a couple that I definitely want to check out. Actually, for Thursday, now we talk about Hall H a lot, and Thursday is not really going to be a big Hall H day, if not at all.
You're not going to do the Predator?
Well, that's the thing.
Is that Fox's panels on Thursday?
Yes, that's the first one.
Or is it just the Predator?
It's just the Predator.
Just the Predator.
And that's Thursday. So I know we talked about it before that, instead of really trying to get up at the crack of dawn on Thursday, that, kind of maybe sleep in a little bit and come in a little bit later. Because if we don't have a rental car, usually the shuttles are pretty packed in the morning time. So to kind of avoid that, we might just sleep in a little late. 10:30 is when Predator starts in Hall H. My idea this year is I'm really going to try to take a more laid back approach to going to panels and just kind of measuring my anticipation, my excitement. We say that every year. But this year I really want to kind of hold true to that, because there's some other stuff I want to do as far as trying to get some footage for people on the YouTube channel and do some other stuff for myself. But I think I'm gonna try to get to the Predator. I'm not going to make a big deal of it. I'll
You're gonna do a walk-in situation, you think?
Yeah, I'm just going to go past. If I can walk in at 10:30 and check it out, I'll go check it out.
Thursday, that's doable.
Possibly.
Yeah, and we've done that in the past. We walked right in on Twilight and what are those three chuckleheads called? Robert Pattinson, who we all love now. Kristen Stewart, we love now, and the Jacob guy, Shark Boy,
that guy. So I'm hoping it could be one of those situations. So I'll go there, see what the line looks like. If I can get in, I'll spend an hour, check out some Predator footage, come out around 11:30, maybe walk the floor. That's always the best day to kind of get on the floor, is that first day. Look for any type of exclusive and just check out the lay of the land and what's going on the exhibitors floor. As far as panels, outside of the Predator, of course, the rebooted TMNT has a panel at 1:45. In
Ben
room.
Schwartz.
Yeah, Ben Schwartz, who voices Leonardo. I haven't been thrilled with some of the design. Really at all. And I think a lot of Turtles fans have been a little reticent about this series.
If Michael Bay didn't hurt us enough already.
Exactly. But I think if any Turtle fan is still curious, I would definitely check out this panel because I follow TMNT at TMNT on Twitter, and they did put out the new opening. What is it?
Opening title sequence.
Opening title sequence credit, and it does kind of is more reminiscent, at least the theme song, to the original Turtles, and the animation style looks to be really, really dynamic. So although I don't like the character designs per se right now, I'll check out this panel, 145, room 6A. That's one. I think that's one of the rooms upstairs. I'll check that one out.
At I don't know if you saw this, but at 11 o'clock, at room 28DE, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle for All. Did you see that?
Oh, with Kevin Eastman and Tom Watts, the three generations from the comics. I was looking at that
That's
too.
From 11 to 12. Yeah.
Yeah, there's another one at 11 o'clock. I think it's at the San Diego Library that is called...
Where is that? None of us have ever been to that.
The San Diego Library? It's by Balboa Theater.
Oh, so that's fucking far.
Yeah, it's a hike.
Yeah, the San Diego Central Library, so I may not be checking this one out. But it's something called Beyond Wakanda, intersectional Afrofuturism.
There is like several Afrofuturism panels this year.
It's exciting.
So coming off of Black Panther, that's something that's definitely have piqued my interest. So, I mean, I did see there's also, we'll get to Friday, but I think there was another one with Ruth Carter.
Yes.
About costume design. So I might be looking into that. But again, I need to kind of go through everything.
Right,
I'm still trying to
still doing his research.
Yes, it's a lot, but I'm excited. But just for Thursday, those are the ones, and that's kind of my game plan for the Predator, and then just that one panel, and then probably just walk the floor, and then whatever else comes to me.
All right, Wife Dork, what are you doing Thursday?
So Thursday at 10 a.m., there is the 6th annual musical Anatomy of a Superhero. I talk about this panel every year, and every year I do not go because it's always 10 a.m. on Thursday, and you're excited and you just want to go to the exhibit hall floor. Yeah. But it is interviews with some composers, and I love the integration of music and film, of course, how emotionally evocative it is. So the participating composers are Tyler Bates, who was for Deadpool 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Marco Beltrami, who did Logan the Wolverine.
Whatever, Hellboy.
Christoph Beck, who did Ant-Man and the Wasp. Kurt Farquhar, who is a composer for Black Lightning. And Blake Neely, who does the music for The Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow. It's going to be moderated by Ray Costa. So that's interesting to me. I also like seeing, now there are when we first started going to Comic-Con, there were some panels about focusing on, diversity in comic books and movies, and racial diversity, LGBTQ diversity. And so this panel stood out to me. It's called Queer Comics for Queer Kids. It's at 2 p.m. at the library, so probably not going. But
did you see at 12 o'clock, Lisa, at 12 p.m.? There's an entertainment is LGBTQ panel.
Yeah. The reason the queer comics for queer kids stood out to me is just because, you know, my older my older nieces and nephews are now at that middle school age, and they're discovering their identities and evolving. Right. And, you know, even if I can't go to that panel, I would love to listen to it or see it online, just to have some comic books ready, you know, because even no matter what their identity is, it's important to read about all kinds of different types of kids. And also, you know, you never know with young people. Yeah. And just a wonderful, beautiful world we live in. At 2:15, Bobcat Goldthwait has a panel. I do not love his movies, but he does a great interview.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's like a cool guy. What a weird and crazy career he's had.
He's hot to trap.
Yikes.
So I'd be curious to see that. At 11:30, there is a panel with Leonard Maltin and Jesse Maltin, where I love the premise of this. It's called You're Wrong, Leonard Maltin. And so you have an opportunity to confront Leonard Maltin with his terrible opinions. Brad already has something queued up.
He did not like John Carpenter's The Thing. We're going to have words.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
That's going to be at room 24 ABC. So that will be in the convention center. That's exciting. This is, Brad and I discovered this panel. I don't know if this is the second one or maybe we just didn't discover it until last year. But Sci-Fi Wire's The Great Debate. Last year, it was hosted by Aisha Tyler.
Yeah.
And John Hodgman was on that panel. Who else was there? John Barrowman.
Yep. I can't remember the others.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was a lot of fun.
But it was so much fun. It's just an opportunity to, like, so what they have in their little blurb.
They've got to have a Last Jedi debate.
They have video games eclipse movies or TV. Pine, Pratt, or Hemsworth. Hemsworth.
Oh, Pine.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that have video games eclipse movie or TV. That's one of the
That's
debates?
one of the debates.
What time is this?
This is at 4:45 and Ballroom 20. So that'll be fun. And then at 7 o'clock, they have, hosted by Chris Gore of Film Threat, there's Future Indies You Must See. So it's an exclusive sneak preview at new independent genre films and documentaries coming your way in 2019 and beyond. So I think that'll be a fun, perhaps sneak peek at what we might see at Fantastic Fest or Lost Weekend, or just films that we want to go out of our way to seek out. Generally on Thursdays, Brad and I spend a lot of time on the exhibit hall floor, but those are a couple of panels I would not mind checking out.
Yeah. As I'm looking at Lisa, she has her, she's not lying when she says she's done her research. She has several papers stapled together with the events that she wants to attend. And this is for the new listeners, because seeing her with this reminded me of this. So for you new listeners, San Diego Comic-Con is an event where there's so much going on that there are some things that you're going to want to do and or see, but you won't be able to do it. You're going to have to sacrifice
and
prioritize. Prioritize, yeah.
But I always do this. I like to go through. They do have like the app where you can go through and set up your schedule and select. But I'm much more of a paper and pen type of chick. So I always go through and I copy and paste the panels that I'm interested in into a Word document, and then I print it out. I bust out my highlighters. My original draft of this, so this is like this is about 11 pages double-sided.
So you had a phone book initially.
Initially, it was something ridiculous, like
it was 89 pages.
89 pages.
God damn, Lisa.
So this is my pared down version.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So listeners, that's one of the. You know, there could be worse problems to have, but that's one of the caveats that come with Sandy going to Comic-Con and most big conventions like that. There's so much going on these days, and they're cramming so many different activities and panels into 4 days that you're gonna have to, like Lisa said, you're gonna have to prioritize, and then
but you never have nothing to do, which
absolutely.
Is exactly the opposite of regular life.
Yeah. So there's that. So you will not be bored. B, what are you looking forward to on Thursday.
I'm with Brian. I'm going to skip out on Hall H, though.
Yeah.
I appreciate your laid-back attitude, Brian, and just walking into the Predator. But even if I could walk into the Predator, I don't think I would. I'm excited to see that movie. I'm really curious. I don't need to see any more footage beyond the 2 trailers we've gotten.
Same.
So yeah,
See, I'm not excited.
I know.
So maybe I need something.
I know. Maybe this will do it for you.
I don't know.
But I think for the first time, Lisa, I'd really like to just walk right into a panel, and I'm determined because at 10 a.m. in room 9. They're having the DC Collectibles panel. And you're like, Brad, why do you care about DC Collectibles? Well, one, I love buying things. And I like seeing the future things that I'm going to buy. But more importantly, Rick Baker is going to be part of this panel. He's there probably to promote this massive bust of the Joker that he has designed. I've seen the images online. It's going to run for like $1,000.
Is it a life-size bust?
It is life-size bust. And I think I've actually broken down Lisa, and she's going to allow me to break one of our house rules and purchase it, but that would require me also finding $1,000 to spend on a statue. But it's a Rick Baker statue, and I want to say it's limited to 100 copies.
Oh shit!
So it's going to be ultra rare. Hence the high price tag, but also it's massive. You should go online, take a look at Rick Baker's Instagram just to see what this thing looks like.
It's gorgeous.
And it really is unlike any other Joker you've seen.
I was getting ready to ask, is it a design from a particular run in the comics?
It's what Rick Baker would design if he was given the Joker.
He thinks about, okay, well, if his face was melted by acid, you'd be able to see the scars and things like that. He really thought about the character.
It's really scary looking.
It's really gross, but beautiful.
This is what Joaquin Phoenix should look like in the Joker movie.
Well, let's not open that can of worms just yet right now, Darren. But if we go to the 10 a.m. DC Collectibles panel in room 9, that means we would miss the 6th annual musical musical Anatomy of a Superhero panel. There's also a From the Bridge documentary in Ballroom 20 with Nichelle Nichols, Greg Grunberg, and Rod Roddenberry talking about this Star Trek documentary.
You've seen that one though, right?
Oh, you know what? Shit. You're right. I have seen that. Yeah. It's okay. All right, so I don't feel bad.
But we're gonna get a whole lot of Star Trek coming out real soon.
Right. That's true.
You mean in the way of Comic-Con events?
Yeah, panels. Okay. Lots of Star Trek this year.
Okay.
And I think I'm with Lisa. We won't separate up. Let's go hang out with Leonard Maltin. Let's tell him why he's wrong at 11:30 in room 24 ABC.
I might join you on that one.
That'd be fun.
I think that'd be fun. We should all get a mic and shout at him.
I gotta check out how he felt about Chappie.
I'm pretty sure he hated it.
What? Perfect.
And then 12:30, though, just an hour later in room 6A, they're doing a 50th anniversary panel devoted to 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I see that.
I know Keir Dullea is going to be there in attendance.
Oh.
Now, guys, if we don't go to the 2001 panel, at 1 o'clock in the Indigo Ballroom, all the way outside in the other hotel, is an exclusive first look of the new YouTube show Origin from writer-director Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yikes.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's go get our Resident Evil posters signed. And new listeners, you may be thinking that I am mocking Mr. Paul W.S. Anderson.
Nope.
Go back and listen to our Resident Evil versus Underworld debate between the Turtle Dork and myself and know that I am a true blue diehard fan of the Mila Jovovich series.
Yes. Yep. He is not trolling you.
And I'm actually trying to figure out how we can get into the Indigo Ballroom at 1 o'clock. I think we should make that happen. And then finally, Thursday night at 7 o'clock in room 7AB, they're having the Holy Hollywood History, and that's a panel devoted to the erection of the Batman 1966 exhibit that's in LA. And I'm thinking I wouldn't mind seeing if we can actually go to LA and see that exhibit while we're there. Because we've got a few days after the con. And usually we try to get up to L.A. Maybe we can see the Batman 66 exhibit.
Hell yeah.
And that's Thursday for me. What about you, Darren?
All right. So because, as I mentioned earlier, every year I try to cultivate different experiences at Comic-Con. This year, because I'm bringing my daughter, this will be her first year at San Diego Comic-Con. Not her first year at a convention because she cut her teeth on AwesomeCon earlier this year, and she handled herself expertly.
And she loved it.
She did. She was super stoked. She was ready to go as we were leaving AwesomeCon. She was ready to go get on the plane to San Diego. So anyway, I say all that to say, so obviously she wants to cosplay this year, her first time as any respectable geek would. And so
not me.
Oh yeah.
You're not respectable.
Oh.
I would say that. I was going to say you're an exception to the rule, B.
Thank you, Darren.
But for her, because it's her first day at the biggest comic convention in the world, I just want her to just experience it and take it all in. So for Thursday, I'm not really looking to do any panels. I'm just going to walk her around so she can see the cosplay, so people can see her cosplays, and walk the exhibitors floor so she can see all the crazy that is that. And I think I maybe want to do that early to try to avoid when it gets really, really, really crowded in there. So we'll get in and out on Thursday. So we'll walk around, and that's really all I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Kim Jung-gi's booth first to get all my to get my books and stuff like that, and whatever Sia wants to buy, I'll use Thursday as our day to take it slow and move from one end to the other and get all our stuff. So that's really what Thursday is going to be about for me. It's just I'm just so excited to see her face and to answer all of her questions and just to see when she sees it. Like I literally, that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most, is looking at her to gauge her reaction to all this stuff.
Is she going to make some cameo appearances on our Facebook Live videos?
She's going to make some cameo appearances on our Facebook Live videos. If we could do that while we're in line.
Corner.
Yeah, and of course we're going to have to get her on the ReviewCast. So so for Thursday for me, really it's just it's funny because everyone else is you're going away from the convention center, the sellers floor. You're going to panels and stuff. This year I'm gonna go straight there, and I'm just gonna spend my time on the floor for Thursday this year with Sia. So,
well, that's what Lisa and I did last year, and we had a blast purchasing things.
Yeah. God, we spent so much money right away.
And because I'm just doing that, and I'm not looking to get into Hall H or anything, and there's nothing that the things that I want to purchase aren't going to be sold out if I don't get there, the first. So like Brian, I'm not going to get up early Thursday morning to go stand in line with Sia. We'll just get up at a decent hour, and we're just going to go straight to the convention center after it's already open, because that's what happened last year. That first Thursday, I just walked in.
What time are you guys flying in on Wednesday?
I'll be getting in at 4 or 5 o'clock.
Okay.
West Coast time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I come in I think 10 a.m. West Coast time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What time do you get in?
We're coming in Tuesday.
All right,
and we're coming in early Tuesday.
So can you come pick me and see up?
Yeah,
from the
yes,
airport?
absolutely.
That's what we always do.
Okay.
Every single time we've done it.
Yeah, because I don't want to have someone else come and get me and then not show up and I'm stranded with my daughter. Being stranded at the airport last year with Zachary was okay, sort of. It's manageable.
I know that was traumatic for you.
So with an 8-year-old, I don't know if that's going to...
And I don't want to put you in a situation where you feel triggered or uncomfortable.
Right, and I don't want to... And that be the first thing that Sia experiences when she gets over there. I don't want
We've got your back.
Thank you.
We've got your back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know what we do without you.
We had Brian out there partying immediately when he got into San Diego. We went to that King Kong Skull Island exhibit.
Yeah.
So he was sleepy.
He was sleepy beepy.
He was sleepy beepy.
He needed a nappy poo. And somebody didn't set their alarm. That's all.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
All right.
But I'm not going to have a rental car this year. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, we've got both of your backs.
Okay, thanks. Because
Thank you.
between worrying if he was alive or not, or if y'all were in a car accident.
I thought we were over this. Right?
I thought so too.
Sometimes just going through memories brings up stuff, you know. And
Thanks for bringing that back up.
We're tolling the soil. All right, so Tuesday.
I had forgotten about it, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Yeah,
he wasn't the one that got left, motherfucker. All right, Tuesday. What are you looking forward to?
Tuesday, I'll be looking forward to getting off from work and getting on the plane on Wednesday.
I'm sorry, Thursday, Friday.
All right, Friday. Friday's a tricky day. So it's good that we're doing this podcast, so maybe we can kind of talk it through.
Oh my goodness, you know that thing like when we're there and then Friday gets here, and you're like, "Oh my goodness, it's
almost over."
I just had that feeling.
No, right
just
now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, damn, we're at Friday already.
I know.
All right.
But, yeah. So Friday, not really a lot of panels. Hall H for me is I want to get in there. But Brad, I know you said you want to try to get in there, but this is my game plan for Friday. So probably walk the floor, check out some stuff that's going on outside or around the convention center. There are a couple of panels. There's one at 10 a.m. Mark Bernardin, he's the co-host with Kevin Smith on Fat Man on Batman. And he's also been on Screen Junkies a couple of times. Smart dude. I like that cat.
He's working on the Castle Rock Hulu show now.
Yeah, that's what it mentioned that on here. So that dude is very, very smart, and I've become a huge fan of his. So this is just basically just like an open forum Q&A with him. If I can get in there, I like to maybe try to sit in on that.
What time is that one?
10 a.m. and 29 AB. He's just one of those compelling guys.
Yeah.
That you hear him talk, you just listen. Mark Bernardin is awesome. Designing the costumes of Wakanda with Ruth Carter at 12 o'clock. That's in room 9. So maybe try to get in there. But other than that, during the day, there's nothing more really that I want to do. But my main thing for Hall H, I don't really care too much about Walking Dead. I'm kind of over that show. I know Star Trek Discovery, you want to catch that, Brad. And I'm trying to see what time that was.
That's at 1:30.
1:30. So I think what I'm going to try to do, and going off of past memories of how Hall H kind of works, there's a lot of people that's going to be in line for Walking Dead. So what I'm thinking and what I'm hoping is that after Walking Dead, there's going to be a big rush of people leaving. So maybe I'll be able to get into Hall H if I just kind of even get in line midday.
You'll
around.
Be able to get in.
Yeah,
that big rush of people left like mid-season this past one.
Yeah, that too. So, because I really want to try to get in, not necessarily for Star Trek Discovery or Trailer Park, but if I can get in during that time period to catch Universal for Glass and Halloween.
What is Trailer Park? Is it just like a bunch of trailers?
Yeah, it's just an hour.
Like new movie trailers or like old?
Yeah, like it's never super exciting. We've been there when they've had Trailer Parks before.
Yeah.
And it's always just like, oh yeah, okay, that's right. I can't even
trailers that we've already seen.
Yeah, like they'll show like a Predator trailer.
Yeah, something like that. So they just so at least that buys time for me for them to kind of shuttle people in for any open seats. So I'll try to get in line around 1:30, so I can catch the Universal Halloween Glass, Paramount Bumblebee, and Sony for Into the Spider-Verse and Venom. Those are really the 3 panels I really want to see, but I don't want to have to sacrifice the whole day Friday for Hall H for those 3 panels. It sucks there at the end of the day, but I really do want to get in there for those 3 panels for Hall H. But
Friday is like the best Hall H day.
I agree.
It is.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's the best. Historically, it's been Saturday.
Yeah.
The last 2 or 3 years, Thursday and Friday have been pretty void of interesting stuff. But those first 2 years that we went, like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday had even Sunday had stuff in Hall H that we wanted, because we would ultimately end up spending almost our entire time in Hall H.
In 2011, we spent a lot of time in Hall H.
Yeah. And Friday's really become the TV day. We're getting Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, but since HBO's not there, Game of Thrones is not going to be there. Again, that makes me think that it may be a little easier to get into Hall H.
I think it'll definitely be easier.
Midday, especially after The Walking Dead.
You'll be able to get in at that point.
But I'm hearing a lot of people are looking forward to Sony with Spider-Man, Spider-Verse, and Venom. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people trying to get in to see that. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So I may miss the Discovery. I mean, I haven't watched Discovery, so I know
good. You gotta get.
I know you were telling us that we should definitely check that out. But hopefully, I can get in around that time. And I don't know if I can meet up with you. If not, if I can just get in Hall H, I'll be good. Even if I'm in the back,
I think you'll, like Darren said, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah. So at least I won't have to sacrifice my whole day, so I can still have a little freedom on Friday and still be able to catch some excitement in Hall H.
Yeah. Wife Dork.
Yes.
Hey, boo boos.
Hello. My Friday starts in Hall H. With Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog Reunion.
Oh.
So this was during the first writer's strike. Joss Whedon used that time to release an online movie, like I think it was mini series, webisodes of Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, which was starring Neil Patrick Harris. And it's so sweet, and the music is so legitimately good.
Weren't they at Comic-Con before though? Didn't they have a thing?
I'm sure.
Yeah, I've heard of. Yeah.
But at that panel will be Joss Whedon, Jed Whedon, Nathan Fillion, Felicia Day, and Marissa Trancheron.
But no Neil Patrick Harris.
No Neil Patrick Harris.
Boo.
No Felicia Day. Oh no, she'll be there. Yeah. So yay.
So they're not.
Captain Hammer will be there. That's all that's important.
They're just talking about that.
Yeah,
but
kind
not
of talking about
it.
It's their 10th anniversary.
Okay.
It's kind of like what they did for Aliens that year when they were just celebrating the film and the new release of the DVD.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that'll be lovely. It'll be fun.
That's first thing Friday morning.
Yeah, that's at 10. And then
I'm sorry. Where's that at?
That's in Hall H.
Oh.
And so we'll hang out because the Star Trek Discovery panel is also there.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. Like, I think Lisa and I are going to spend maybe all day in Hall H on Friday.
So how are you going to do that? Are you getting up early?
I think
Friday
we're not going to sleep over on Thursday. I think we'll be fine if we just get up early and come on in. And it's not like we need to be front row for any of this stuff.
Okay.
So we'll probably get up around 2 a.m. and drive on in there and get in line at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited to celebrate Discovery. I think that it's a totally beautiful show.
The only bummer is, as Brian's already mentioned, at noon in room 9 is Ruth Carter.
Yeah.
Who's the costume designer of Black Panther.
I was going to ask,
Malcolm X.
Talk to her and say, "Hey, I'm Brad. I'm the one that you spoke to."
No, that was Hannah Beachler.
Oh, Hannah
I haven't interviewed Ruth Carter yet.
Oh, okay.
And Hannah Beachler is not going to be at Comic-Con,
man.
which is a bummer because I'd love to see a panel of her.
Yeah.
But I mean, Ruth Carter is like amazing.
Yeah, she's awesome.
But I don't want to get out of Hall H and hope that I can get back in. Not only that, it's noon in room 9, and Star Trek Discovery starts at 1:30 in Hall H.
Ooh.
So maybe we can just kind of gauge what traffic is like.
Yeah, I guess like when we get into...
Well, I don't know if they're going to be doing this year, but remember they give you that 1 hour bathroom pass.
I think that I know that Darren has used that to do other cool shit.
I've done it too. I did it last year.
Boo.
It's shitty. It's a shitty thing to do.
I'm sorry.
That's not in the spirit.
Hey, I'm sorry.
It's for going.
And I haven't done that like since the.
Well, they just started doing it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
No.
Well, no, they've done bathroom passes
They've done
before,
it before
but
that.
not the hour thing.
Okay, yeah, it probably wasn't an hour.
45 minutes before, and that was the only time I did it. I haven't done it since
You
an
should
hour.
be ashamed of yourself.
Sorry,
Well, the only
know.
reason I did it last year is because we were in line, and one of the guys behind us had a pass, and he was like, "Look, I got this bathroom pass. If you want it, you can have it." And I wanted to see that Marvel Netflix panel for like the Punisher and all this
It's a
stuff.
slippery slope.
And I said, "All right, I'll take it." So I got in, and then so I went in, and then I came back out with another pass because I had like an hour to spare. Because they did it was like a Twin Peaks panel. I was like, I didn't want to sit here, so I went back, got another pass, just came back later.
You're right, Darren. That was totally worse than what you did.
See,
you're the worst one.
Sometimes you gotta,
And when I did it, I only went to the floor to live stream for Facebook, and then
that was for the fans.
Yeah, see, I did it for the fans.
You were selfish.
You did it for yourself.
You're right.
Anyway, I see what you're saying, Brian.
But look, there you go.
And that's a really interesting idea. But I would never do that because at 1:30 is Star Trek Discovery in Hall H.
Yeah. And yes. Sonequa Martin Green's going to be there. Doug Jones. I'm super excited about seeing Doug Jones. Anthony Rapp. So cool. Tig Notaro.
Oh yeah, she's moderating
because she has she has a guest spot, I guess.
I think
on
it's
the
a
new
reoccurring
season.
role in season 2.
Awesome.
Star Trek?
Yeah, Star Trek Discovery. She's the engineer. We never met the engineer in the first season, so
shit.
This is going to be awesome. She has a very specific acting style. This should be interesting.
I think she's perfect for Star Trek.
Me too. She's kind of an.
And Anson Mount, who plays Christopher Pike, the captain of the Enterprise, will be there. And
why does his name sound familiar?
Hell on Wheels, the TV show Hell on Wheels. Darren, the TV show Hell on Wheels.
Yeah, but wasn't he in Inhumans?
Yeah, but I don't talk about that.
Oh, damn. All right. Sorry, Lisa.
That shit's
you were
garbage.
Saying,
damn. This one's not. This is in the Indigo Ballroom, but at 4:15, the cast of Bob's Burgers. I don't watch Bob's Burgers because there was one where Bob became a taxi driver, and it was just way too pukey, and I stopped watching it. But Eugene Merman and Christian Shaw are both on that show, and I love them. So I would love to see that. There's a Catching Up with Adam Savage panel from Mythbusters. Love that dude. And this sounds super nerdy, and I'm kind of into it. The Star Wars mock trial, the court-martial of Poe Dameron. So Legal Geeks and the Rebel Legion Sunrider base present the mock court-martial of everyone's favorite X-Wing ace, Poe Dameron. I'm just reading from the blurb. But it'll be attorneys talking about it. United States Magistrate Judge Mitch Denben. Participating attorneys will include Steve Chu, Thomas Harper, Christine Peake, and Megan Hitchcock, with Rebel Legion members Rachel Williams as General Leo Organa and Marcus Holt as Poe Dameron. It sounds so dorky.
That is so geeky.
But when I was in high school, I loved doing mock trials.
Yeah.
And I love the legal system.
What time is that? You going to that one?
That's at 8. It sounds like a fun late night panel to do. It just sounds silly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it for my Friday.
B, what are you looking like on Friday?
I mean, I'm sticking around in Hall H. I mean, if we're going to be there at Whedon, we're going to be there till the end because I also want to see the Glass and Halloween stuff. I want to see Bumblebee. I want to see Venom and Spider-Verse. Yeah. So I guess you're
not going to say for Preacher, right?
No.
Yeah.
The Preacher's after Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the last one.
Then I'm gone. I'm out.
Yeah.
But, while Lisa's seeing the mock trial at 8 o'clock, I might head on over to room 28DE at 8 p.m. and see Fight or Die, John Carpenter's Tales of Science Fiction. Now, John Carpenter's not listed as being on the panel, but Sandy King Carpenter is. So I don't know. I kind of have my fingers crossed that John Carpenter will show up.
Yeah.
It is, some VR nonsense that he's taking a part in.
Oh.
And that John Carpenter's around because of the Halloween panel.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So, yeah.
That'd be cool.
To me, it's remember when...
That's on Friday, right?
That's on Friday.
Okay.
When we went and saw the Django Unchained Zorro comic book panel.
That was so fun.
And Tarantino was there.
Yeah.
And the crowd was nowhere near as big as the Hall H stuff, so you got a lot closer. That's one of my favorite panel experiences.
That was cool.
So if we could get John Carpenter in a panel size like that, that would be rad.
I got to see Quentin Tarantino up close. That was nuts.
That's exciting.
That was a great panel.
Yeah.
And that comic was also really good.
Yeah. All right.
So that's my Friday.
All right. My Friday. So Thursday I'm doing just walking the convention center floor with Sia. I think on Friday though, I'll take her to all of the exterior activities and exhibitions that
Taco Bell, Demolition Man,
Taco Bell that's going to be set up. Definitely
someone's going to tell your
that.
kid, be well.
Yes.
Explain the 3 seashells.
And then we're going to do the
What's your boggle?
What's your boggle? I will do. Then I'm going to take her in the back side of the convention center for all of the stuff on the grass area out there. So basically, the earlier part of the day will just be those types of experiences, so she can see that. But then towards the evening, I think I'm going to try to get into Hall H so she could see the Bumblebee panel and the Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, she's super excited about both of those.
Yeah, she is. Specifically Bumblebee, especially Bumblebee. So I might try to get in Hall H for that, even if we're sitting in the back.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, just to get in.
Now, the other thing that's going on Friday night is they're doing the world premiere of the DC animated film, The Death of Superman.
Yeah, of course. They do that every Friday.
Right. I'm actually kind of interested in
Ballroom
this one.
20.
Yeah.
And so they're premiering it at 7, but then at 9 at night they have another screening of it.
Really?
Yeah. But then that's Friday night. We may be sleeping outside.
Well, yeah, we have to get the wristbands to make sure we get into Hall H.
Oh, yeah, we do have to do that Friday. Okay, so that's my Friday. So mostly, again, and Sia will probably be cosplaying on this day, but something light, nothing too complicated. So low maintenance. But, I'll take her walking around doing the outside, because it's been a few years since I've been able to actually do that. Get outside and see some of the exhibits and stuff that the different studios have set up, because I've been so preoccupied with being indoors, even if it's just because it's hot outside. But this year on Friday, we'll do that.
Do you think you're going to take her to any of the screenings of the Teen Titans Go to the Movies?
I was looking at that too.
If I can get into that, because she loves that show. I like that show. That show's funny.
I'm
as shit.
excited about that movie.
That trailer was
They have
hilarious.
two screenings.
Nicolas Cage as Superman. That's freaking dope.
They have 2 screenings.
On Friday?
Well, one on Friday and one on Thursday.
I think they have
And
back-to-back on Friday, 12 and at 2.
Yeah.
Really?
So I think that would be a good break for her if she needs to sit down in the middle of the day.
Oh yeah.
And it says that you can get your photos taken with the characters, and there's snacks and stuff.
Oh, there
And that's
snacks.
at the Horton Grand
Plaza,
I think.
I think
we
so.
can do that then. And because we don't have anything
Horton
pressing,
Grand Theater, yeah.
What time?
Friday, I think, is at 12 and 2.
Okay, and because we don't have anything pressing, we could just go there and
then you can head to Hall H if you want to try to catch Bumblebee.
that's what we'll probably do. So that's my Friday plans. All right, so now we come to Saturday. All right, new listeners. So historically, Saturday for the ITMOD has been our sacred day in Hall H. What happened in the past is a lot of all the panels from like Marvel and Warner Brothers and Legendary Pictures. Saturday is the big day that has the
movie stuff. Usually,
movie stuff, right? Now, again, like I said earlier, there was a time when Thursday and Friday would have movie panels, but then in more recent years, it started to shift to Saturday. But now what's happened is Marvel's not coming this year. Who else is not coming?
HBO's not coming.
HBO's not coming with Game of Thrones, which was a huge shock for me, this being their final season. And so last year was the one, did they have the anniversary panel for Aliens?
Yeah. I can't remember.
Or was it Star Trek?
No. Star Trek was 2 years ago.
All right. So what's been happening is they'll have like Warner Brothers and Legendary Pictures will open up.
Yeah, the Women Who Kick Ass panel is usually on a Saturday too. The
right.
Weekly
So they started adding like these like filler panels, and they've gotten away from the movie or studio heavy panels on Saturday. But it's still traditionally bookended by Warner Brothers opening it and then Marvel closing it. Well, in Marvel's absence, this Saturday is really dry. It's like front heavy. Like all the good stuff is actually the opening panel, if I'm not mistaken. So
depends on the person, I guess.
Yeah, it depends on the person. I mean, I can only speak for either myself and sometimes you all, if I want to. ITMOD. So, Brian, what are you looking forward to on Saturday? Obviously, the Warner Brothers Legendary panel.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Let me go back here to my schedule. But yeah, we have that at 10:30 in the morning. That's the first panel of the day.
And it is Warner Brothers Legendary, or is it just Warner Brothers?
Well, it says Warner Brothers, but it's probably going to be.
Well, we know Godzilla's going to be in Hall H.
Yeah, so there's going to be a couple of different films. Of course, the DC films, and then anything else Warner Brothers has on deck. Of course, probably the Lego Movie and some other stuff that they have.
Shazam!
Yeah,
that's all I care about.
Yeah, I'm excited. So it's a 2-hour panel, so they're going to be showing us a lot in that 2 hours. But honestly,
and I would say Warner Brothers as a studio and Legendary, I mean they've pretty much been bringing their A game.
They bring a lot of theatricality.
They do.
Yeah. So 10:30 to 12:30. Again, like you say, historically we usually are in Hall H. That's our Saturday that we spend in there all day. But looking at the schedule, for me, I think after Warner Brothers 12:30, I might be dipping out for the first time in a long time. Ever, and have a Saturday to myself, have a Saturday to explore what else Comic-Con has to offer on a Saturday, which I don't even know what they have because I've never been able to experience Comic-Con on a Saturday. So yeah, it's going to be fun. There's no other panels that I've gone through so far that I've seen, but I'll have to go through the schedule. But yeah, my plan is how we always do. It's always fun, meeting up with our crew that we've come to grow and love over the last collect over the last 2-3 years, and just meeting up, having breakfast, and just talking and getting in line and having fun, and then go in.
I mean, Sia is going to need some hotel space. She's not sleeping out on the lawn. That means Darren's got to be out there. So we're still going to sleep out. Are you going to join us?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy sleeping out.
Yes,
and of course, I mean, and again, we don't know who is going to make a surprise appearance.
Yeah.
So that's always the joy and the fun of it.
And no Andy Serkis this year, though.
Not with Jungle Book or anything like that?
No.
I don't think so. No, I don't think he'll be there.
I'm sorry, Mowgli.
Mowgli.
Well, actually, Mowgli is a WB film, I think.
Oh, shit, you are right. Oh, so maybe we can party with Serkis again.
Maybe.
It may be Andy Serkis. It may be a homeless guy there to murder us. You never know.
But yeah, I mean, that's always the fun part. Like I said, just being able to, reconvene with our Comic-Con fam.
I've got my onesie ready for sleeping outside.
And then just sleeping out and then just, congregating with them and then going to see this panel. And I was a little disappointed looking at the schedule when I first saw it, but then I started to think about it and I'm like, you know what, this is actually a good thing because now I get to experience something that I haven't had to do in the last 8 years going to Comic-Con. And it's just to see what else we can do on a Saturday. And one of the things is, of course, the Masquerade Ball.
Oh, man.
That we've talked about in years past because, we've always been hijacked by Marvel in Hall H. We haven't really been able to go out and experience the Masquerade. But it would be kind of cool to kind of get into Ballroom 20 if we can and experience what the Masquerade Ball is all about. So that's exciting.
Yeah, for our new listeners, the Masquerade Ball is on Saturday night. Traditionally, there's a ball. It's a competition of sorts of people who cosplay, and these aren't people who cosplay like us dorks here, or these are people who cosplay like their next level cosplay. Like this is their
life dependent.
This is what they do. Yeah, from the time that they leave Comic-Con to the time that they come back, they're working on another cosplay.
It's like the Olympics. Like they're amateurs, but are they?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you get to see a ton of creativity, a ton of passion, and like Lisa mentioned earlier, just a celebration of geek culture. And like Brian mentioned, we've failed to attend it because we are always in Hall H on Saturday night. But this year, the silver lining is Marvel not showing up is that we'll be free to go to this ball, and I'm extremely excited. Extremely excited. What else? Is that all you got for Saturday?
That's really about it.
Wife Dork.
Yes.
Are you going to be in Hall H all day and all night?
I won't. Warner Brothers in the morning.
Yep.
And then I would love to go to Kim Jung-ji's panel.
Oh my goodness.
In room 2. I think that, and I would love to experience that with you, Darren, because it's going to be amazing.
Yes.
And also at 5, this is literally a panel that only Lisa's going to be interested in. In fact, you guys can just turn your headphones off and have a little breaky break. Because at 5 o'clock, there is a panel for Bubble, Monsters and Ass Kicking with Hollywood Stars. And Bubble is a fictional audio podcast. So it's like an audio serial story written by Jordan Morris of Jordan Jesse Go. I think he was also a writer on At Midnight and other things like that. He's just like a comedy writer. But he is super funny, and his voice totally comes through this audio drama about this kind of contemporary future where it's like us today, but the world is infested with these monsters that have like when they get their goo on you, it like transforms you. Weirdness.
Don't get your goo on me.
So all of society has moved into bubble cities. That's why it's called Bubble. And but every once in a while, monsters break into the bubble, which is why there is an app called Hunter where you can it's like Uber, but for monster killers, and you just say, oh, you call them and they need to, and you're like, hey, I've got a monster you got to kill, and they come and they kill the monster, and then you give them 5 stars. So it's super funny, totally contemporary references, and some of the panelists are Jordan Morris, who I've already talked about, super amazing, funny guy. Allison Becker, who was on Parks and Rec, is and these are the voice actors from it. Allison Becker from Parks and Rec, Cristela Alonso, who is one of the voices in Cars, actually, and she has a new Netflix special called Cristela, I guess, or maybe Cristela was her TV show. I can't remember.
I think she's the new. She in Cars 3, the most recent one. She's like the main new character. The yellow car.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've seen her. I think of her as a guest on Jimmy Pardo's podcast. So, and she's super funny there and super cute and enjoyable. Eliza Skinner, who is a totally hilarious stand-up who I enjoy. Mike Mitchell, who's on Love, and Travis McElroy, who is on the podcast My Brother and Me. And this is going to be moderated by Jesse Thorne, who is also on Jordan Jesse Go With Him, but is the guy who runs Maximum Fun, which is the podcast network that has Bubble, but also has a ton of other podcasts that I enjoy, including Jordan Jesse Go, Judge John Hodgman, other stuff. So... totally a bunch of podcast nerds.
And what
that
time
I love.
is that one?
That's at 5.
Okay.
And I know you guys really want to go to the ball. I'll go to the masquerade ball with you. Though I'm sad that I'd be missing an evening with Kevin Smith.
Oh, go
because
to that.
It's at 6:45. And I'm just interested to see him after he's had his heart attack. He's had this life-changing experience, and now he's lost a ton of weight. And I think that'll definitely come up.
You can listen to his podcast, Lisa.
And then he'll talk about directing Supergirl and The Flash, his new show Hollyweed, and the forthcoming sequel, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. I just like listening to Kevin Smith talk.
Yeah.
I want him to officiate our renewal of vows.
Yay.
So that's it. That's my Saturday.
All right, B, what's the plan for Saturday?
I'm following suit. Hall H, Warner Brothers. Can't wait for Shazam stuff. Looking forward to Godzilla.
You think the Warner Brothers is doing Wonder Woman 84?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. They'll have some Wonder Woman 84 stuff there. Yeah. Aquaman, of course. Ooh, yes. Maybe some Green Lantern Corps concept stuff. I don't know.
Possibly. I think they focus on those three films.
Yeah. And then, I'm going to get out. And now... I want to see the Kim Jong-gi thing. If Hall H is a barren wasteland, at 2:45, the RZA has his...
Yeah, if we can get back in. I would like to kind of...
If we could just walk on in, I might want to just walk on in and see the RZA in Hall H.
Yeah.
And then at 5:15 in room 6BCF, Jason Blum of Blumhouse is talking about The Purge. If you listen to our last Week in Dork, we were big fans of the first Purge. They're talking about the transition from the Purge franchise from film to television.
Oh, that's right. They are doing a TV show. You know what? That has the potential to be decent at the very least with how social political those movies are.
Yeah, I don't know. And I really like Jason Blum, and I'm curious to see what he has to say.
So Blumhouse has something to do with the TV show?
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good thing, though.
Yeah, it's a great thing. So, and then, of course, Masquerade Ball.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to it for the same reasons you guys did. I'm kind of excited, like Brian and Darren and Lisa, that we got Saturday to do something new.
Free, right? Yeah. It's almost like we walk out of there like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Like, what do we do?
It might make
the sun is still out. What the fuck?
The pain of Sunday being the last day a little easier.
Yeah, because when we get out of Hall H, the day is over.
Yeah.
We do so much. Yeah. All right. Same deal. I do want to see that Warner Brothers panel, the legendary panel. I want to be able to see some Wonder Woman footage. I want to see that. I'm looking forward to some Godzilla 2 footage for the most part. I'm curious to see what this Aquaman stuff is going to look like, and everything that DC's doing. I'm just excited for the presentation.
As long as you said, Jason Momoa runs by us.
Oh man!
Oh man!
I just would love to be brushed by his long locks.
I know. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
So hopefully we'll get that, because that dude, he was DC's official hype machine. Say what you will about those films, but that guy, as far as like his energy and promoting it, like when
and Gal Gadot too.
Oh man,
she's like a fucking ray of sunshine.
They were they were such a huge presence in Hall H. They were so bright and beaming. I mean, that's what you want after spending hours and hours in line. And yes, it's cool to see the footage, but when the cast show up,
they're so beautiful. You're like, that's what people who slept indoors look like.
Yeah, but when the cast show up and actually show up, and they're full of energy and they're happy to be promoting what they're doing, like Jason Momoa running down. He had the trident in his hand, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep. That's dangerous.
Yeah, this dude's running in a room with 6,000 people
with a pointy stick,
right? And
he's daring, dashing, and daring.
And we all loved it. We were like, yay! So I'm looking forward to that. And I will be lying if I said I was not disappointed at the fact that at Marvel's absence, but also not just. I don't even want to totally put it on them, but just the other panels, like just the state of Saturday Hall H as it is right now.
It's all on Friday, man.
Yeah, it's so weird. And granted, it is cool that we will be able to get out earlier, but I do miss those days of just sitting in that Hall H and then just back to back movie stuff. Like what the heck? Like just the cast coming out and just more footage and just being bombarded with that stuff. I love that. But like you said, it does give us an opportunity to go do some other things, and that's that sentiment, Brad, about Sunday being the last day and it encroaching like quickly. I think you're right, that might help that Saturday we would have a lot of time to do some more stuff, to cram some more activities in there. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to for Saturday. Brian,
Sunday
for me is really just kind of a free-for-all kind of day. I looked through, there's not really many panels. Of course, I'd have to go through the schedule again to see if there's anything really on there that really interests me to go check out. But Sunday is really just a day to just kind of walk the floor, just experience everything, catch some half-off deals on prints and stuff like that. Yeah. And, go outside and see, if there's anything else kind of going on out there. Probably take pictures with cosplayers and, check out a lot of the fun that other people are kind of having. And just, kind of winding down and just kind of really just kind of reflecting on everything that's kind of happening. So that's really how I'm just going to spend my Sunday. And, of course, I always look forward to dinner and possibly a movie if everyone's not too tired.
Oh, we're definitely doing a movie this year.
Equalizer 2. Ready? Yeah. I'm ready.
Is that the movie?
It is.
Yes, we've said that before. Stop it with that, man.
Well, dude, we found ways to enjoy Minions.
Did we?
We did.
And White House Down.
Oh, and White House Down. And Lucy.
White House Down was a Comic-Con movie?
Yeah.
For new listeners, historically what we do, we have a tradition where on Sunday after, because Comic-Con ends fairly early on a Sunday, so we all meet up Sunday evening and we have dinner and then we go watch a movie.
Last year it was Valerian.
That movie was the worst.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I guess Equalizer 2. I guess. All right.
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. I can't even say. I'm going to see that movie, but as a Comic-Con movie though, like that's.
Yeah.
Okay.
You take what you get.
I know, right? They can't all be Captain America, the first
right.
Avenger.
That's right.
That's like perfect. That's like the perfect Comic-Con movie.
That Comic-Con, I had a migraine and fell asleep.
But we watched Captain America: The First Avenger with Robert Kirkman.
Did we though?
I mean, he was behind us.
If you didn't know it, does it count?
I mean, I knew
If you have a migraine and you're sleeping, does it count?
Mm-mm. So yeah, I guess. Man, what are we going to eat? Like, where are we going? Because Panda Inn is closed.
Yeah.
I guess we can leave.
Last year we ate at that crazy Italian place.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you just the way the guy talked to you? You're like, "Are you ripping me off?"
Yeah. Oh yeah, that wasn't Sunday, but we ate there either Friday or Saturday because we went there with
Scott.
Well, no, Scott treated us that Sunday night, but we went there with Aisha, Miriam, and Fatima.
And then we saw Valerian.
We were walking around.
No, but we saw Valerian with them.
Yeah, but that was the next day. We did 2 dinners together.
Yeah, we did 2.
Nice.
Did 2
Did
dinners.
we?
Yeah.
I forgot about that Italian place.
Because we were walking around. I think that was either Friday or Saturday.
And we were seated upstairs, and everybody downstairs was speaking Italian, and everybody upstairs was being overcharged.
Yeah.
Was I there?
You were there.
You were there.
Yeah.
You got a Caesar salad.
You did.
I remember that. It wasn't the Sunday. That was when Scott treated everybody.
Right.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
I have zero recollection.
We were upstairs, and it was in the Gaslamp district. We were walking around looking for somewhere to eat.
And we were walking forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust us.
Brad got gnocchi.
I believe you, but I have zero recollection of
I
this.
got salmon. What did Zach get?
I can't remember.
I don't know. And we got
What did
a
you
lot
eat,
of
Zach?
expensive bottled water.
Yeah, we all ordered
Yeah,
water, and then he
that's
charged
right.
us for it.
Is it the water that came with like the metal thing, the
cork.
clasp?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I do remember that.
And the meal was like $200.
It was ridiculous.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I
And
don't remember it. It was traumatic. That price was traumatic.
Miriam got risotto, though, and it looked fucking good.
Yeah. Anyway.
It was good food.
Sunday panels, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that come up?
I have no
How
idea.
else we got?
Sorry. Nothing on Sunday, right? Panel-wise.
All right, Lisa.
For me, yeah.
Okay. Generally, I save Sunday morning to see the Supernatural, guys, even though I have not watched that show in literally
I was gonna
forever.
say, like, are you still watching it?
But at 10 a.m. in room 6 BCF, they are going to have the world premiere of Scooby-Doo and the Gourmet Ghosts with acclaimed celebrity chefs Bobby Flay and Giada De Laurentiis.
Oh my God!
I know. She is only the hottest Food Network star ever.
What's her name?
Giada
You know
De
who Giada?
Laurentiis.
She's the niece of Dino De Laurentiis, the
and she
movie.
is so thin.
You still didn't hear because they screamed it.
Yeah, I know.
Giada De Laurentiis.
Okay,
She is.
Okay,
She is.
thank you.
She makes food exclusively out of butter and olive oil. And
Wait, but
she
you got to
is-
talk about her smile first. You gotta talk
It's
about her.
illuminating. She's beautiful. Yeah.
But who else is going to be there, Lisa?
My bae, Matthew Lillard, will also be there.
Oh.
You know, I have a weird Lillard.
I'm still touching
weakness.
Brian's shoulder. I'm just imagining he's Giada right now.
I gotta see who
yes.
this is.
So, they're not. What is this, a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Like an animated
Wait,
movie.
is she doing like voice work in that movie?
Yeah, because
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Because it's like a celebrity one. So I'm guessing that
Is
Bobby
she playing
Flay
herself
and
Yeah.
in the movie?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think so.
Watch this.
It's gonna be amazing. Yes. So I didn't know. So Kate Micucci, she's not going to be there, but Kate Micucci is playing Velma. How perfect is that? Anyway, so and then at 2:00, that is much later. 2:00, there's going to be Chef Duff Goldman of Ace of Cakes doing a culinary and fandom panel, which I'm like baking and nerddom. I'm so there. I loved Ace of Cakes, and Ace of Cakes was just like in Baltimore or something. It was like nearby. So very, very cool. Oh, are you guys looking at pictures of Giada De Laurentiis?
Showing Brian pictures of Giada. I got his
she-
approval. He was like, "Yeah,
I
she
can
bad."
watch her tong pasta all day.
Me too. Me too. Oh my God,
That's funny.
I never do this, but I mention it every year at 3:45. Somebody's gonna be acting out. There's gonna be a sing along once more with feeling, which was the Buffy musical episode. I've never gone, but I think it would be fun, and I know all the words. I could sing along. I'm just afraid of embarrassing everyone else around me with how beautiful my voice is. Everybody heard it on our Week in Dork episode. So
go for it. You should do it.
Okay, so yeah, that's my Sunday. Mostly be chilling.
All right.
Oh, it's time. It's time to stop
Time to
talking
go.
about Giada De Laurentiis.
It's time to go on the plane. It's time for Comic-Con.
Oh, sorry.
I still have things I want to do on Sunday, guys.
Brad, what are you doing on Sunday besides being really, really sad?
Well, yes, besides being really, really sad. At noon in room 29AB.
Wait, I have to, for the new listeners who are just joining us, on Sunday, firstly on Wednesday, Brad Mouthdork turns into Con Brad. And Con Brad is like
he's a real dick.
He's how tall are you, B?
I'm 6'4".
He's like 6'4".
Shrek's about a foot.
Yeah, and it's just all this monstrous passion and like beelining to everywhere. Like Con Brad is like he's like this. He's a
Walking
monster.
through people.
Right, he literally walks through people. Like people explode as Brad goes through them to get to his destination. Right.
Yes.
But on Sunday, It's like when Hulk turns back to Banner and Banner's like all like shriveled up and pitiful and naked, and Brad gets like really sad. Calm Brad turns to sad Brad. Brad gets like really depressed because it's over.
Yeah,
like his demeanor changes. Like
both
his
are
posture.
a little annoying. Both are insufferable, but we tolerate it because we love regular Brad the rest of the year.
It's like when you're in elementary school and you're at recess, and then the teacher calls all the kids to get in line, and you got the one kid that's still in the monkey bars, and the teacher's got to come and drag
them by the legs.
That's Brad. Yeah.
Damn, that is an apt metaphor, Brian.
So,
congrats.
I just wanted to preface Brad's his Sunday with that, so you can all picture this as Brad is telling you what he's doing on Sunday. Okay, Brad, sad Brad, take it away.
12 p.m. in rooms 29AB. They've got a panel called Inside the Comic-Con Museum in Balboa Park. Apparently, they're building a Comic-Con museum in Balboa Park.
So fun.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm kind of curious about that.
Wait, it's like a pop-up, or is it an actual museum that they're building?
They're building an actual museum. Now, if you go over to Balboa Park, there's like a museum devoted to the death penalty.
Damn.
Really morbid. Lisa and I have done it. It's pretty interesting.
I found it fascinating and depressing.
Yes. And so, like, near that area, they also have like an air and space kind of museum there. They're gonna have a Comic-Con one. So I'm curious to see what their plans are, because that means you can celebrate Comic-Con all year round at Balboa Park.
Yeah,
true.
So that'll keep me happy, right?
Does that also mean that Comic-Con is staying in San Diego for a couple of years? It has to, right?
I think they certainly want it to.
Yeah.
That'd be a dick move if they built this damn museum.
And now we're going to Vegas.
No
one wants it in Vegas. Okay, then at 1 o'clock in Grand 9 at the Marriott Hotel, interesting panel called Disco Was My First.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
Huh?
Any Star Trek newbies. So it's about those fans who discovered Star Trek through Star Trek Discovery, a.k.a. Star Trek Disco, a.k.a. Disco.
Yeah.
They can come here and this panel will help you ease into the rabid fan base of Trekkies. I think that
seems like a daunting task.
It does.
I almost don't believe it.
Yeah, agreed. 2 o'clock in room 25 ABC, they're having the cover story panel, and that's where comic book cover artists, superstar artists like Joelle Jones, Joe Gisco, Matt Taylor of Mondo posters, and William Stout are doing a panel. And that sounds kind of interesting. But to make Sunday extra sad, to really bring Brad down low, at 3 o'clock in room 6DE is the panel I have to be at. It's of all the panels of all of Comic-Con, I have to be at this panel, and it's the Harlan Ellison celebration of his life and work. Josh Olson, who is very close with Harlan Ellison, is going to be there moderating. He's the screenwriter of A History of Violence, frequent Trailers from Hell contributor. He'll be there. Bill Sienkiewicz, the comic book artist, will be there. William Stout will be there. J.K. Woodward and Nat Segaloff, who wrote Ellison's A Lit Fuse biography, is going to be there as well. And everybody who comes will receive a complimentary print, and they'll be treated to a deleted scene of Harlan from his documentary Dreams with Sharp Teeth. So I'll be there. No, I mean, I've seen the documentary, but I haven't seen the footage that they're going to be showing here. And that goes from 3 to 4. Gives me an hour left to enjoy the con, get into the exhibit hall and roam around like a sad turtle trying to cross the street and only knowing that doom and the void is on the other side.
Brad is that guy.
My metaphor was not as good as Brian's.
Brad is that guy that when the lights are out and everyone's leaving, the security guy still has to say, "Excuse me, guy, we're closed. I'm going to have to ask you to leave now."
I will not leave until they shut the lights out on me. That is true.
Yeah. Poor Brad. Sunday for me, it'll be the same thing. I'll just, ask Sia. She'll pretty much dictate, what we do that day. Is there anything you want that we didn't get to see? Because there's so much stuff. New listeners, there is going to be something that she hasn't seen, I haven't seen, we didn't get to do. So Sunday will be that day where I try to play catch up and take her to some events or attractions that we missed, and or walk around that floor, because again, we're going to spend Thursday doing that, but she's an 8-year-old. She's not going to probably want to be in there for 8 hours. So we'll be in there as long as we can, but Sunday we'll probably go back in and pick up where we left off if there's some stuff that she wants to see or do in there. But other than that, I think what I'll do is like around 1 or 2 o'clock, that grass area in the back where the peninsula is, that's where we saw the Star Wars fireworks show, that grassy area. I think I'll probably go take her out there. We'll probably have lunch like on the grass, a little picnic or something like that. Just to chill and just be outside. And that's pretty much I got for Sunday. And just wait for Sad Brad to come out so we can go do our dinner and a movie. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got for Sunday. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have went over what we're looking forward to regarding our panels. So we're going to close out by going over a few of our exclusives that we're looking to get.
Credit card.
This is basically the debt portion of the debt segment. We're going to call this the debt segment. Brian, I know you got your eyes set on that NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle motion picture action figure set.
That's the main one. And I was actually throughout this episode, I've been kind of just rummaging through this website, going through the pages and all the different exhibitors, some of the exclusives they're going to have. So I found a couple. Of course, I am the Turtles and Power Rangers guy. So the NECA is the main thing I'm looking forward to, which is going to be in that nice VHS classic cover box, 7-inch tall Turtles from the 90s, the classic 90s movie. I'm so looking forward to
getting that. And you're going to get that version and not the diorama one?
I don't know, man.
What's the difference in prices again?
The regular Turtles is $125. With the diorama is $300. So it's double. A little more. So
I want those also.
I know. What's that?
I said you should probably get both.
I know.
See, Brad,
crafty saleswoman.
I know she's a keeper.
It's a keeper.
But I will be getting that, no doubt. But then I checked Bandai. Bandai has a couple Power Ranger. What's wrong with
No, Bandai. They're a dope toy company.
Oh, I thought you said whoa or nope.
I said oh.
We deleted the episode.
Oh no, sorry. We're still good. We're still rolling.
But no, Bandai has two. That has a figure arts figure of Tommy and Jason, the Green and Red Ranger, with their helmets off. So I think those run about $60, and then this is $300, which they have a Megazord black version, which looks pretty awesome. And $300, we'll see. We'll see.
Start rolling them pennies.
I know. We'll see.
Because what Ranger stuff do you have, like figure-wise? You don't have any stuff, right?
No, it's mostly Turtles.
Yeah.
I have all the Mondo figures.
Do you have the helmet yet? Or a Dragon Dagger? A Ranger helmet?
No, I don't have any of that.
You got to get some Ranger stuff then.
I do, man. I got a lot of Ranger prints, but no figures. I do.
Even because you can get like one of the helmets at one of the stands on the floor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, next year we'll talk about cosplaying.
Oh. Which Ranger would you cosplay as?
The Pink Ranger.
The Green Ranger?
No.
A mashup of green and pink?
The Black Ranger. But I'm doing something different. This is for next year.
Okay. All right. No spoilers. We'll talk off air.
Yeah. I'm doing something a little different.
Schemes.
Yeah. But it's coming. But those are probably the only things I'm looking for as far as exclusives, and then anything else that kind of,
catches your eye.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, wife Dork, how much money will you be blowing?
I don't know, because a lot of the exclusives I want are at the Funko booth.
Oh, shit.
And so odds are I will not get them.
Well, we should talk about that a little bit. But this year, unlike years past, you have to go online and enter into exclusive raffles.
Mm-hmm.
So just to get in line, you have to
win the raffle for Funko. And with Funko, we've all entered in every time slot. So that will certainly determine our day if we get into Funko line at Thursday or if we get in Funko line on Sunday at noon or 2 or whatever.
Right.
So it'll be interesting this year. I kind of like years past where you just hunker down and you're like, my main goal is to get this Funko Pop, so I am sleeping outside for this Funko Pop.
Right. Yeah. So before you were competing with everybody who was willing to stand in line for a long time.
The psychotics.
Now you're competing against everybody willing to click a button.
Yeah.
So, but there's 4 different exclusives I want there. They have the Goose in his pajamas with his axe from Saga. Last year I got the plush Goose. Mm-hmm. So I need to expand my Goose collection, of course. Mm-hmm. They have a Kraglin with the Sean Gunn's character on Guardians of the Galaxy with the fin, which is completely badass. There is they have a new series called Vinyl, which VYNL. Where I don't really like every single one. Like they have a Scott Pilgrim and Ramona Flowers exclusive where I'm not such a fan of that style, but they have a Margot and Richie Tenenbaum that is entirely too adorable. Check this out. This is fucking awesome. I want that. Shit. Aren't those sweet? Yep. I need those. And so, so that's what I want from Funko. But also there is at the ABC booth, they have some Dharma Initiative pins. I'm a huge Losty. Yeah. And they have Dharma Initiative enamel pins of the Arrow base and the Swan base.
Is it a set?
Yeah, it's a 2-piece set.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So that's that. I printed these out. I used color ink for this, people. Also, at the Shag booth, I love Shag. They have kind of a retro mod kind of style of art. But they have a really awesome print for Planet of the Apes.
How much is that one going for?
I didn't see a price listed on it yet. But it's there to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Planet of the Apes franchise.
And it's completely beautiful and will go with our other Planet of the Apes art. But the number one thing I want this year is at Gentle Giant, and it is the Saru bust. So that's the Doug Jones character from Star Trek Discovery. And I love this character because his superpower is essentially just anxiety and feeling when bad shit is going to happen, which I feel all of the time. Yeah. So I feel like he is like the taller, sexier me. So I love this character, and of course I want every action figure, and of course this beautiful Gentle Giant does beautiful stuff.
I think that's $100.
Totes worth it.
All right. B, your long list. Your stack.
Hunker down.
All right. Well, I'm going to get through this really quick.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm going to get the Ninja Turtles over at the Nika booth because I'm spending so much money. But I really want it.
Yeah.
So we'll see how many pennies I can roll to make that happen and how deep in debt I can afford to go. Yeah. But at the Nika booth, I do want to get the Guillermo del Toro exclusive action figure. And I want to get the Shane Black as Poncho from Predator action figure. Because then maybe I'll run into Shane Black on the floor and he can sign my Poncho.
That'd be cool.
At Funko, I mean, I really hope we get in because I know Lisa's excited about her silly little things. All right. But more importantly, at the Funko booth is this gorgeous Hellboy pop figure that's based on a classic Mignola drawing where he's got the crown of the apocalypse on his head, but then he has all these Cthulhu Lovecraftian tentacles around him, and then there's like a little baby Cthulhu next to him. I need that pop. If I don't get into the Funko booth, I'm going to spend extra money to get it anyway from one of those jackasses that did get in.
Yeah.
At Hasbro, there is an exclusive Red Skull figure celebrating the MCU's 10 years, and it comes with a life-size Tesseract that's electronic.
Shit. It lights up?
Yep. Ooh. I want that. At the Lego booth, there is a Wasp and Giant Man Lego exclusive set that I would like to take a purchase of. But then Mattel. Okay, Mattel. they have a Hot Wheels version of two things really cool.
I saw it.
The Thanos copter.
Yeah, I
it's
saw
the
that.
yeah.
I
Back in the original appearance of Thanos, Thanos drove a helicopter.
Yeah.
And they have a Hot Wheels of the Thanos copter that comes inside, you guessed it, the Cosmic Cube, the Tesseract.
Tesseract,
So I want 2 Tesseracts.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like this is come inside the other one. So
No. I got to get 2 separate Tesseracts this year. And also at the Mattel booth, they've done an Action Comics recreation of the first comic book that Superman appeared in. You know that one where he's holding up the car?
Yeah.
It's 3D. He's holding up a Hot Wheels of the car.
Oh, shit.
And there's a little 3D Superman inside the packaging recreating Action Comics #1. It's $20. Got to get that. But again, am I going to get in that raffle? Oh! Mike Mignola's got a bunch of cool stuff this year. He's got a 25th anniversary Hellboy print at his booth. You know, I'm going to get that. Got to get my tube. Got to pack my tube, my plastic tube for posters. And then at Dark Horse, I strike that. At the IDW booth, he'll be signing copies of his classic adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula. I don't know if you've ever seen these comics. They're beautiful. They're doing a brand new hardcover edition of his adaptation. And it'll come out in September, but they're doing an early release at the IDW booth on Thursday from 2 to 3. There's only 100 copies that they're selling.
Oh, shit.
Yes. Mondo this year is releasing a vinyl edition of the Big Trouble in Little China soundtrack. Ooh. Looks gorgeous. 2 vinyl discs, LPs as the old folks call them. And it comes with Phantom City Creative artwork, and it's really pretty. This one's silly. I don't know if I have the money to spend on this, but Factory Entertainment is doing an exclusive die-cast paper boat of Georgie's from It, and it's covered in his blood.
Oh, all right.
So I kind of want that bloody die-cast paper boat. Mobius Models has enamel pins of the Eva Pod and the Discovery from 2001: A Space Odyssey. And finally, Mizco, they're doing an exclusive version of The Punisher, those 1 and 12 inch scale figures.
Yeah.
He's got a Gatling gun. He's got a crazy helmet. So many accessories. And they're also doing a Batman Beyond figure in that scale as well. So yeah, there's like a couple $1,000s that I'm going to dig myself a grave with. But you know, at least you can take it with you when you die, like the pharaohs.
Oh, okay. As far as exclusives, like the only exclusives or the only exclusive that I care about, Brad, you were wrong. You said at the Funko stand, the only one that mattered was a Hellboy pop. That's not true. The only pop that matter is the Comic-Con exclusive of Nux in his Nuxmobile with Max, Mad Max strapped to the front of it. I need that in my whole life. That's the only thing I need from San Diego Comic-Con, minus my book from Kim Jung-gi. But that's the only exclusive I care about. And I know I'm probably not going to be able to get it from Funko's booth. I might be able to get it secondhand from some vendor, but most likely it'll end up being an eBay purchase. That will probably be like 3 or 4 times its price at the booth. But that's the life of a collector. I have all of the. I had what I thought was the complete collection of Mad Max pop. You know what? That's like the first, and I think maybe it's the first and only complete collection of something that I've ever.
Yeah, the Fury Road Pops.
Yeah, like I have the complete. Well, I had until this car came out. So
that's how they get you.
That was short lived. But for a while, it was cool. Like looking at that in my little office, going, I have every last one of them. I have the entire collection of a thing that's my favorite thing. Yeah, no, not anymore. But other than that, I'm looking forward to getting my book from Kim Jung-gi, signed and with a little sketch in it. But that's not an exclusive because you can get that online and or whenever in the at the convention. But that's all I'm looking forward to really. Now, will I see something at Mondo's booth as far as their posters? Because they announced their posters a little differently. Yeah. They'll do it via Twitter, normally during the convention, during Comic-Con. So I'll have to wait and see what designs.
There's always something cool. I mean, Yasagi Yojimbo from last year.
That's freaking
gorgeous.
dope. I didn't even know you bought that. I told you that before. Last year I got the Batmobile, the Tim Burton Batmobile. Oh my God, it's so gorgeous. I got that one. So hopefully this year they'll have a cool design. But I'll have a little Mondo poster money tucked away. But other than that, I'm just looking forward to my my sketchbook from my favorite artist and that Funko Pop exclusive. If Ryan Benjamin has another sketchbook out, I'll probably get that too. But as far as exclusives, those are the only two things that that's the only one that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, not of course. The Artist Alley is always an exciting place to wander through.
Yeah.
I've never gotten anything from Ron Lim. I think this is the year.
Cool.
If we're not like totally broke. And the thing is, you make this giant list of exclusives, and you don't get nearly even the opportunity to get half of them.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how this new system works out,
because none of us have ever gotten into the Funko booth. None of us have gotten into a Hasbro or Mattel booth.
And those are like the hard ones. That Lego, Hasbro, Mattel, Lego, and Funko are like the worst trying to get into. They're like their own little Hall H's. It's crazy. But so that's going to do it for our exclusives, ladies and gentlemen. Anything that we want to talk about?
We get some questions from our listeners. Not a lot, but a few.
I'll take them.
At Chris_Chaka on Twitter asks, how much of the trip is battle planned versus open exploration? Second question, who is more regimented and who is easy breezy?
I think Darren has always been easy breezy.
Yeah. I would say easily. Lisa and Brad are the most regimented.
Yeah.
And I might edge it towards Lisa.
I like to go in with a plan.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. And I like to know where people are going to be and what exactly we're going to do. And that's just how I am in life. Now, do I allow shit to happen? Yes, I do. I resist it though. I like to have everything. I buy a special notebook. I take from what I've printed out in a packet and I transfer that into a notebook and then go day by day and try to work out exactly what's going to happen. I don't like to deal with uncertainty.
But at the same time, Darren, in years past, and I don't know if it'll necessarily be this case this year. In fact, I know it won't. You've been the most hardcore about Hall H.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you go to the Hall H line battle ready.
Yeah. Because like we mentioned earlier, like with Saturday being the heavy day in Hall H, like that was always my favorite. And for a long time, that was like the main reason why I go to San Diego. Is because my love of the movie stuff and getting to see the exclusive stuff. But then the Hall H experience in and of itself, which we've covered on this podcast numerous times. I mean, that's the experience of itself, regardless of what footage I'm seeing. But just sitting in there next to all the 6,000 other people, but next to like our con family and looking at each other, anticipation, and the curtains pulling back and us getting excited. Just everything that happens in that auditorium is why I look forward to it. But you're right. This year it'll be something different. But years past, Hall H, that was my jam. But things have changed. All right, next question.
Pegleg LaRue on Instagram asks, what are your thoughts on Marvel not doing a Hall H presentation this year?
For me, I'm kind of looking forward to some of the what's coming up, building up for a little bit. I know that I look forward to every year seeing... Well, we've had other years that haven't had Marvel, and we lived.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I look forward to having some of the secrets build up.
Yeah. But at the same time, I would be lying if I said I wasn't sad that Marvel's not there.
Yeah.
My favorite Hall H stuff, my favorite panel stuff, for the most part, has always been the presentation that Marvel puts on.
Yeah.
It's, even if the footage you see, in a trailer a few weeks later or, day and date, the environment of the crowd, the energy of the crowd, plus the panel presentations themselves is like
above and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the timing of it is part of the reason why I was a little disappointed, because if you look at the schedule of their films, what's coming out next year, and the production of where they are in production. I mean, you look at Captain Marvel.
They do have stuff to show us if they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, you have Captain Marvel and Avengers 4 coming out, so I mean, they could actually put on a decent presentation to get fans excited. But I also think they're in a tricky spot with Avengers 4, not wanting to reveal too much information about that film. So I get why they're not there, but as a fan myself, I am slightly disappointed, because I know that if they wanted to, they could put on a huge presentation.
But it's like the marshmallow experiment. Like, if you're one of the kids who doesn't eat the marshmallow right away, then you'll have a better future. That makes sense in my head.
Look, we're gonna love Marvel's marshmallows. All right, that's a fact.
If we eat one now, or we eat two later.
Right. And, you know, ultimately, San Diego Comic-Con is not about Marvel.
No,
it's just a portion of it.
No.
But God damn it,
come
back!
A big portion.
A big portion of it,
all right. William Hauk, a.k.a. The Framing Dork, asked on Facebook if we're going to have any Tom Cruise sightings this year. Top Gun 2 footage?
No.
Edge of Tomorrow 2?
No.
God damn it.
You know, I love Tom Cruise when he comes to Comic-Con. It's not going to happen this year. Paramount's here with Bumblebee.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, William. Sorry, Brad.
Yep.
And then finally, at Yank61 on Twitter asks, I'd like to go with, how much stuff can Brad get for Ben at the Marvel Legends booth for $400? And the answer is,
nothing.
Get your own ticket, Ben.
Nothing. We can't be carrying your shit when we're carrying all of our shit.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I would just be saying, Ben, you need to come experience
Comic-Con. He's been wanting to go
yourself.
for like the last how many years?
Several years.
Especially as a collector, you would lose your shit and your money. But you lose your shit. You owe it to yourself.
You gain so many wonderful collectibles.
Absolutely. And then you gain so many wonderful experiences, too.
Yeah.
So, Ben, get your ass to fucking San Diego, please. Thanks. What else we got?
That's it.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for chiming in on our Facebook page. Thank you, everyone who listened to this episode. Thank you, Dorks, for sharing your time and your place with me and B. Brian, tell the people where they can find. I'll tell the people where they can find you. At the Turtle Dork on Twitter, at the Turtle Dork 1 on Instagram, and at Brian William Young on Facebook. Are you ready for Comic-Con, B?
Is that a rhetorical question?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And Wife Dork is at Sidewalk Siren, and at Bake Dork on Twitter and Instagram. She's at Sidewalk Siren on Letterboxd as well. Wife Dork.
Yes.
Quick question.
Yes.
Are you excited for Comic-Con?
Totally excited.
Yep. And Mouth Dork is at Mouth Dork on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Letterboxd, and Untapped. I did it, V. I did it right. Are you ready for Comic-Con, Brad?
Oh, my God. I am crazy excited. But we still have a Week in Dork coming up here in a couple days, dropping on Monday with a review cast of Sorry to Bother You. I'm really looking forward to talking about that with you guys.
Yes.
And then we're gone. And then, you know, once that review cast is done.
Are we not doing a fistful next week?
We should probably talk about that off air. And then,
yeah,
we're going to do a fistful
there
of...
may or may not be a fistful next week.
Skyscrapers.
Yikes.
Fistful of jumping.
Fistful full of question
Fistful
marks.
of
hesitation?
Prosthetic legs.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would be a good
Skyscrapers
one.
actually would be pretty good. Nakatomi Plaza #1 can't do it.
We've
guys.
already done something because we've said Nakatomi Plaza can't be the #1. We've done a building type fistful, so we'll figure it out.
I think I like the. Have we done a fistful of prosthetic limbs?
Nope, we should.
Okay,
that's it.
In honor of Mr. LaRue.
Yep, that's it.
Oh yeah, Peg Leg. Shout out once again.
Yeah. All right. So
Eric.
there you go. Thanks, Lisa.
Yeah.
See, that's how the ideas come. She has all the good ideas, ladies and gentlemen. So you're welcome for that.
I am the beauty and the brains of this podcast.
And Brian is just the Brian of the podcast.
Every podcast needs a Brian, though.
That's going to do it
Brian
for us, ladies
with
and
a
gentlemen.
Y, because we love you.
Thank you all for listening. Enjoy the rest of your week. Get ready, San Diego, because ITMOD is coming.
Are you excited, Darren?
Hell yeah! Thank you all for listening. And until next time.